For the past several weeks, Matthew's gospel has been telling us we need to bring God to the world through his beloved Son. 2 weeks ago, his gospel message was Peter and Andrew, James and John becoming fishers of men. Last week, Jesus' message was the Beatitudes, the Sermon on the Mount. Today, Jesus explains we are to bring God to the world in another way. Here he says, we are the salt of the earth. We are the light of the world. Jesus wants all of his children to be with him forever in heaven. We who know him must share his love with the world. We must show the way to our brothers and sisters. Earlier this month, I was on my way home from vacation, and today's gospel came to mind. We were driving through Milwaukee. It was snowing, and since I was driving, I thought about the salt and how it was sprinkled on the snow and ice on the road. Then, I came to the top of a hill, and I could see churches in the neighborhoods. It struck me that the salt sprinkled on the snow and ice was a lot like the churches sprinkled throughout the neighborhoods. Those churches are the building blocks or salt that flavors the world. When we actively live in the church, we begin to take on this flavor, and we too become salt. In turn, when we live and act in the world, we bring this flavor and salt with us, and it touches people. However, we can lose our flavor, so we own that piece. We have to be the salt that comes forth from our church and flavors the world with the love of God. Jesus' message is this, that our life in the church does not end after Mass. We are called to be the salt of the earth and the light of the world. For example, the domestic church, our family, must be worked at each day. Our marriages are sacraments, meaning God gives us the grace to live them in his love. As family, we have to frequent the sacraments and help lead each other on our journey towards heaven. Parents, we have to be great examples to our precious gifts from God, our children. We must be the salt of the earth and the light of the world in our neighborhoods. We must also flavor our workplaces. We can do this by being great employees and being unafraid to bring God's love to work with us. People should notice our flavor and see our light, and should recognize that we are different because of our love of God. Today, the way the world tells us to love is the exact opposite of Jesus' way. At times, when we are striving to be salt and light, we will be persecuted. Jesus says, if you are persecuted because of me, remember, your reward will be great in heaven. Be the salt of the earth. Be the light to the world.